Thank you so much for joining me today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. My pronouns are she and her. And today, if you have not yet been introduced to sun salutations, we're going to do just a really light, stylized version of them. While honoring the practice where they come from, we don't need to go through the whole entire set of asanas. We can just start right here where we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and come into mountain pose, but I'm gonna turn this way so that you can see me from this side. But we're gonna inhale our arms up to the sky and just exhale, letting them float back down. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, letting them float back down. And one more time, we're going to inhale the arms up to the sky. And as you turn the palms down, go ahead and bend at the knees and hinge forward at the hips, kind of swan diving all the way down towards the earth, bringing the belly to the tops of the thighs, keeping a nice generous bend in the knees. You can just kind of ragdoll here, letting the hands come to the tops of the feet or to blocks or to your mat. Or you might clasp one elbow and then the other, sort of creating a little frame around your face here. Take a nice big inhale here, expanding the back body. And as you exhale, see if you can find some more length in between each of the vertebrae of the spine here, allowing the head to be heavy, kind of tractioning your back body down lower, creating more space. One more full breath here, and then release the hands and begin to roll up really, really slow. One vertebrae at a time, gently, 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 breathing all the way. And when we come to the top, let's inhale the arms up alongside the ears. And exhale, bringing them down to the sides, coming into Tadasana. You might be a little lightheaded here because we just did have an inversion. Nothing to be alarmed about. It's just the blood coming back down into the body from the brain. Just take a moment here to connect with the breath, finding your Tadasana, your mountain pose, pressing evenly into the feet, keeping a soft bend in the knees, keeping a neutral spine so that you're not tilted too far back or too far forward, but just centered right over those knees. Lift that heart and draw those shoulders down the back. Tuck the chin, finding your mountain pose. The next time we inhale, use the breath to lift the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, swan dive back into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Maybe ragdolling here, just letting the arms hang. Maybe cradling the elbows around your face. And notice which way you're cradling. It's probably the same way you cradled your arms last time, so switch it up. Just evening everything out in the body. Finding balance in the brain, creating the ability to break old habits, breathing in the back body, maybe really generously bending those knees, maybe coming more to straight to get more of a stretch in the back of the calves and the hamstrings, the glutes. Whatever you need today. Allow that to be what you give yourself. One more full breath here, and then we'll release the arms and roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. And this time we're going to add on to that Sun salutation. So back in our mountain pose, connected with the earth, allowing the blood to settle, any lightheadedness to pass if you're experiencing any. We're going to inhale the arms up to the sky, bring the palms together, and then just kind of draw the palms through heart center, coming into forward fold, just a slightly different way. Then we'll inhale halfway up. So bring the hands to the tops of the thighs here. We're going to stay here for a couple breaths, just keeping a gentle bend in the knees, keeping the hands on the thighs, and finding your Tadasana back here. Drawing the shoulders down the back body, tucking the chin, keeping the neck long. Inhale here. Exhale to release. And this time, let's reverse swan dive, bringing the arms out and up above the head. Bring the palms together, and then let's swan dive right back down into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, bringing the hands to the shins if that feels good, or you can take them back to the tops of the thighs. Staying here for a couple of breaths to really feel this pose out. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Still finding our Tadasana back here, drawing the shoulders out of the ears, tucking the chin, keeping the spine long. One more inhale, exhale to release. Reverse swan dive, bringing the arms up and out to the sides, palms together overhead. And then yogi's choice, either coming down through the middle or swan diving back down into our forward fold as we exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, hands at the thighs or the shins, or maybe to the mat or blocks. Exhale to release into the forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up, coming up to the top, maybe taking a little back bend here in the upper spine, and then exhaling, hands to heart. Reconnect with the breath. Reconnect with the feet. Maybe release the palms down to your mountain pose, lifting the heart, tucking the chin. Doing a lot of bending and standing up doesn't seem like it would create an out of breath feeling, but it certainly can. Definitely create a little bit of warmth here. And then let's go ahead and bring our hands to hips. If you have a chair, it might come in handy here, depending on how far you might want to bend forward. So I'm just going to have mine kind of out to frame. So if you have a chair and you think you might want to use it just for balance purposes, you can have it out in front of you so that the back is facing you and it's a little higher here. We're going to bring our hands to the hips here, pressing into the feet. And we're just going to take one step back with the left foot, not very far, because we still want both toes pointed forward, or both toes, all 10 toes technically, both feet pointing forward towards the chair if you're using one, or towards the front of the mat. And we want to be able to have full contact of both feet. So we don't want to be up on the toes here, but we want to be on the heel. So if this is too much space between the legs, you can be here. Just as far back as you can keep both feet firmly planted on the earth. This is pyramid pose. We're going to stay here for a full breath, really guiding those hips so that they're in line with the feet. Everything is facing forward. The next time we inhale, we'll hinge forward at those hips, bringing the heart a little closer to the right knee here. This may be all you get out of your pyramid today. Or you might want to bring your hands to the back of the chair, keeping a gentle bend in the knees so we're not hyperextending here. And really draw that heart towards the earth. Still finding our Tadasana back though, keeping those shoulder blades really grounded and drawn away from the ears. Keeping that chin tucked. Soft, gentle bend in the knees. If you have blocks here, you might want to use them down beneath you if you want to continue deepening the journey, or you can bring the fingertips all the way down to the mat and soften the back, drawing the forehead to the front knee. So anywhere along that path that we took to get from the standing to here, wherever it feels good for you to be and you feel a little sensation, that's where you should be. And wherever that is, we'll take one more full breath there. We'll bring the hands back to the waist and then inhale with a nice tall back, coming back upward and then stepping forward back to Tadasana. Nice stretch in the back of the right leg there. But we do have to even things out. So let's bring the hands back to the hips and we'll step back this time with the right leg. Remember, only coming back as far as you can still comfortably get that back heel down on the floor. Standing tall here, lifting the heart, drawing those elbows back and down towards one another, keeping those hips square to the front of the mat. We'll inhale, hinging forward at the hips, not the waist, but the hips. Coming down just a little bit to begin with, feeling it out, keeping the knees soft, resisting the urge to rush into the deepest, most difficult version of this pose for you. Even if you know that's exactly where you want to go, take your time to get there. And then maybe incrementally bring yourself a little closer to the earth or staying where you are if that's good for you. Allowing the chair to support your arms. And if you want to go a little deeper, you can bring your hands to blocks or tent them down on the earth. And just soften here, allowing the head to be heavy. Continuing to breathe. The next time we inhale, let's find that nice straight back again. Bring the hands back to the hips and come on up, stepping forward back to our Tadasana again. Reconnecting with the breath. And then let's go ahead and step out wide on the mat here. You can bring the feet as wide as feels good for you, toes pointing forward, hands at the hips, coming into our superhero pose. Those of you who watch Grey's Anatomy, whenever you're getting ready to operate on somebody, this is what you do, just to get ready, so you know you're in good hands. But today you're in charge, you're the superhero, your heart is lifted, your chin is tucked, those shoulder blades are drawn down the back. And then let's go ahead and inhale, hinging forward at the hips, coming as far forward as feels good to you. Soft, gentle bend in the knee. You can keep the legs straight, but definitely don't hyperextend. So if that means keeping a soft, gentle bend, keep that. If you're not prone to hyperextending, you can come pretty straight. And again, just like with pyramid pose, we can come down to blocks here, out in front of us, or we can tent the fingertips on the floor. If you want to go a little deeper, you can kind of heel toe the feet out a little bit, come down to palms, right beneath the shoulders. And if you want to go deeper still, you can bring the forearms down to the earth, or you can bring the hands in line with the feet here and draw the crown of the head towards the earth. So again, a lot of different places that we can go in this one asana, this one pose. And then gradually come back upward, heel toeing the feet inward so as not to overstretch the inner thigh. We'll stay wherever we are here for just another full breath. And then let's go ahead and bring the hands back to the hips. Bring the back nice and straight and inhale, coming back to your superhero pose. Now we're going to point the toes out towards the corners of the mat. And here's another place where the chair might come in handy. We're going to sink down into goddess pose. So if this is not good for you, just bring a chair behind you, take the feet out wide and sink down here. So especially if we're taking care of knees, we probably want that seated position. So bringing the hands to the knees, let's go ahead and dip that right shoulder towards the left knee. Inhale, coming back up, and then exhale, dipping the left shoulder towards the right knee. So you can do this either seated or standing. And just go back and forth here, moving with the breath. Really noticing what you feel in the shoulders, in the thighs. And we'll do one more time to each side. And then let's come back to center, bringing the hands to the tops of the thighs, and let's find those cactus arms here. This is goddess pose. Let's inhale, straightening the arms and legs. If you're seated, just straighten the arms. And we'll exhale to come back down. Of course, you could do this with just a seat behind you and really just gently tap the seat with your buttocks. We'll just up and down a little bit, building strength here, still embodying that superhero. One more time, coming back down. Hold this for 3 full breaths. Noticing if you start to shake somewhere, you're starting to get warm, welcome that energy flowing through you. It shows you you're alive, your blood is pumping, and then we'll inhale everything straight up. Bring the feet back in. Let's just shake it all out. Ugh. Just shake it out. And then if you're using a chair today, you might want to set it off to the side and make your way down to your mat. And if accessibility is a problem, use the chair, especially if you have knee issues. You can use the chair to gently bring yourself down to the earth. And we're going to go ahead and come down to our backs. Starting here though, let's point the knees up towards the sky, feet flat on the earth. Bring the hands in behind the thighs. Find that nice, tall, straight Tadasana back here. Inhale here. As you exhale, lift the right or left foot from the earth and then gently bring it down. Inhale here, exhale, lifting the right foot from the earth. Exhale, bring it down. Use your core as you continue to alternate and breathe. Strengthening the core, again, helping support the back. And maybe you might want to lift both feet, coming into boat pose, Navasana. Or just one foot at a time. And then we'll release back down. And then let's just bring the awareness back to the base of the spine, rolling one vertebrae and then the other down to the earth. And then drawing one knee and then the other up towards the heart. Giving yourself a little hug, rocking from side to side, giving yourself a little massage across the low back. And then let's just get a little twist in here. So holding on to the right shin, send that left leg out long. And just hug that right knee in towards the chest and kind of flex that left foot so that you've got energy through both feet, flexing both feet really, and really stretching through that hip flexor here. One more inhale here, and as you exhale, let's draw that right knee across the body over towards the left. Keeping both shoulders anchored down to the earth. If the toe doesn't reach the floor, you can bring it to a pillow, a block, a blanket, or to the inside of the left thigh. We just don't want it hanging out there creating stress on the knee. Just make sure it's got some support there. And if you like, you can take the gaze out over the right shoulder, getting even more of a twist. Letting that right arm be straight and perpendicular to the body, palm shining up to the sky. You might even take this left hand here and gently massage the outer right thigh. Get into that hip, maybe up into the ribs. Just using the left hand to kind of seek out any areas of tenderness that you could bring a little gentle touch to. Not shying away from these tender areas, but being curious enough to explore them. One more breath here. And as you exhale, draw that belly button into the spine. So when you inhale, you can bring both knees back to the chest, and you're using that belly muscle to kind of help you get up there. We'll rock a little gently from side to side. Maybe invite the knee towards the nose and invite the nose up towards the knee, realigning the spine and the hips and the neck here. And then hold on to that left shin as you send the right leg out long, bringing the shoulders and the back of the head back to the mat. Flexing both feet, drawing the left knee in towards the heart as you press the right foot away. Breathing here. Maybe closing the eyes if that feels good, softening the muscles of the face. Inhale here, and as you exhale, draw that left knee over towards the right. Again, finding some kind of support for that left foot. Might be the floor, might be the inner thigh, something in between. Maybe send that left arm out long and look out over that left shoulder. Maybe bring a little massage to that outer hip here, or up into the ribs or the thigh, whatever's crying out for attention today. Just let it know you see it and you acknowledge it and you're taking care of it. Couple more breaths here in this nice gentle twist. Inhale here, and as you exhale, draw that belly button to the spine to engage your core, and then inhale, rolling back to center, hugging the knees inward. Drawing the nose towards the knees and making a little ball here, realigning the hips and the spine and the neck. And then let's set one foot and then the other down to the earth. We'll bring the feet as wide as the mat and press into those feet to lift the hips just enough here to set them back squarely on the earth. If you have a pillow or a block handy, this might be a really good place to do supported bridge, lifting the hips and having the block right underneath the hips for support. If you don't have a block or a pillow, don't worry about it, but it feels really good and it's worth getting blocks for if you don't have any yet. And then just let those knees kind of fall in towards one another. Whether you're on a support or on your mat, let the hands rest here on the belly. Maybe close the eyes. And just notice the belly rising and falling with each breath. Bringing a gentle, tender touch to that belly. Our poor bellies get such a bad rap in the world. We're in a never-ending fight, some of us, with our bellies. But let's bring a gentle, tender touch to the belly today. It does a lot of work for us. It processes our food and our water, blood and lymph fluid, and everything flows through the center of our body. Let's just maybe even bring a sense of gratitude to the belly today. Noticing the rise and fall as you inhale and exhale. The lungs filling, the diaphragm pressing downward and expanding the belly with all of your organs and all the inner workings that keep you alive. And then bring your awareness to the rest of the body and just notice where you might be able to soften just a little bit more. Maybe the forehead, the brow, maybe the temples and the cheekbones, that jaw. Allow the neck to be soft and the collarbones to just kind of slide away from one another. The arms can be heavy, the back firmly grounded on your mat. Softening the hips and the legs and the feet and the toes. Breathing into that belly. Letting our belly and our body just be our partner. Working with us and for us to take care of us. If you're up on the block, press your feet onto the earth to lift the hips just enough to bring the block out. Keeping the feet wide on the mat. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms up and overhead, bringing the backs of the arms to the floor above your head, and just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Maybe stretching out the arms really long, stretching into the left hip as the knees go right, and stretching into the right hip as the knees go left. And they don't have to be all the way down to the floor. It might just be a very subtle movement, or it can be really juicy and really deep. And then either rock and roll up and down the spine or roll to whatever side serves you best. We're going to come back to a nice tall seat. You can either sit cross-legged in easy pose, or you can stretch the legs out in front of you, coming into staff pose, Dandasana. Letting those fingertips come out to the sides to kind of tent here and support you as you bring your awareness to the spine, tucking the chin, drawing the shoulders down the back, lifting that heart, that beautiful heart. Breathing here. Let's go ahead and inhale, floating the arms upward, bringing the palms to join together, and exhaling, hands to heart. May you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your hearts. Namaste.